Hi, my name is Brennan Salty. I am from Chesapeake Bay Governor School, and I'll be showing the effects of location, month, and year on sample catch of the black sea bass. Acknowledgements I like to thank my family for their love and support throughout the project, Christina Hart for helping me with my statistical data, fellow classmates for helping me push myself forward throughout the year, and Mr. Dutton for helping me give pointers and teaching me biology, and you, the audience, for dealing with my project. The purpose. My family and me have always been on the water. Throughout my whole life, it's basically where I lived. We've always fished, gone tubing, or even skiing on the water. My dad is a professional fisherman, and I've always had an interest in fish, whatever type of species he ever brought home, such as striped bass, tile fish, black sea bass. He first showed me the black sea bass on a fishing trip. And during the fishing trip, I became interested in it. It was just an odd looking fish. I was wondering where they lived, what type of habitats they liked, and what they eat. What did they eat? So what's the problem? Well, first off, they're an important recreational fish, which means for people who are using a hand rod or just a regular fishing rod, it's basically recreational fishing. Commercial fishing, they're also important for commercial fishing, but commercial fishing is when a boat uses a trawl and they're used for like a monetary purpose, like for getting money or achieving food. The black sea bass was also overfished until 1997. At that point, a mandate was put into place to check the amount of fish that were caught or give a quota to the amount of fish caught to help push up the populations. And this is doing this to help maintain a healthy population, which will help keep a balanced ecosystem. And if it's an inadequate amount of population, it will cause inadequate reproduction, because the black sea bass is known as a protagonist hermaphrodite, meaning they start off life as females, and then up until their first sexual maturity, they'll make the transition from female to male. On average, black sea bass weigh up to 4.3 kilograms and reach up lengths of 50.4 centimeters. As juveniles, they have a brown coloration with 6 vertical white stripes. The 6 vertical white stripes go with them throughout their whole lives. As adults, they have a blue greenish coloration on the upper part of on the upper half of their body, which helps from predation. If predators were above, they can't see the black sea bass camouflage with the blue surrounding, and if they're below, they see the white belly, which blends in with the white light coming through. The black sea bass are also noticeable for their large head, large mouth, and large pectoral fins, which is similar to their close cousin, the striped bass. They're located on the eastern coast of the United States. They're not really located anywhere else in the world. They're common around rock jetties, rocky bottoms, and in shallow waters. The common depth of where they're found is up to 130 meters. They prey on crabs, shrimp, and smaller fish. Basically anything they can fit their mouths on. And predators are such as sharks, striped bass, and weak fish prey on the black sea bass. They're even on the humans list. Here's a graph showing the landings and the years throughout the black sea bass. As you can see, on the x-axis is the years, and the y-axis is the landings. In the blue bars is the commercial landings, and the green line is the recreational landings. As you can see, the high points in 1982 and 1986 for recreational black sea bass landings. But over the years, you can see up until 1997 a sharp decrease. That was when the mandate was put into place to help push up the populations of black sea bass. As you can see, for commercial landings, it doesn't really increase until 1995, 2 years before the mandate was put into place. Even then, it still increases up until 2007 when it finally decreases again. The variables that I have through the process was my dependent variable, which was the sample catch. My independent variables, which was location, and I used the states for that, and the states were Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, New York, and Rhode Island. And months and years. My alternative hypotheses. If the location changes, there will be an increase in sample catch, meaning if we start from Virginia and go up, there will be an increase in sample catch size of the black sea bass. If the month increases, there will be an increase in sample catch, meaning if we begin with January and go throughout the months, there will be an increase in sample catch. And if the years increase, meaning if we start with 2000 and go all the way up to 2015, there will be an increase in sample catch. My null hypotheses: if location changes, then there will be no change in the sample catch. If months increase, there will be no change in the sample catch. If the years increase, there will be no change in the sample catch. For my methods, I used NEMAP for my experiment, and NEMAP is a Northeast Area Assessment and Monitoring Program. They help the United States on a federal level to tell the amount of fish in the water, which in turn will help fishery management know what quotas to set on the certain species. As you can see here on the map, there are 15 sections on the East Coast. And throughout the 15 sections, there are 150 stations overall of NEMAP. And they'll set cruises out, which is a boat they use as a trawl method, and they will try to catch fish to determine the amount of quota that needs to be set on them. As you can see here, this is a cruise with a trawl. A trawl is basically a net that is put in the water and drug. There are 6 sensors mainly used. One is to measure the weight in the trawl. If it reaches 5,000 pounds, it sends a signal to the boat to set a GPS point at that location. There's ones for depth, temperature, and there's even ones to tell the species. If the trawl's too big and unable to pull on the boat, they'll use the sensors to pick out certain individual species. And if the catch is too small, they'll bring it onto the boat and sort the species out from there. Here's a sample catch average by location. As you can see here on this error bar in New Jersey, the standard deviation is crazy. It's just because I've noticed that it wasn't like the other landings of the other states. They were able to catch up to 37 to 50 black sea bass at a time, compared to Maryland, which only had up to 5 to 10. And also, if you can see, the New Jersey and Rhode Island, and even New York, have a larger average of black sea bass caught than the other states. I also ran an ANCOVA on the test and got a p-value of 0.0117, meaning it wasn't significant enough for my experiment. It wasn't. See, here is the sample catch average by months, meaning I want 2 meaning February, 4 meaning April, and 5 meaning May, and 10 meaning October. As you can see, May had the biggest standard deviation, meaning that New Jersey's catch could have gone along in there and helped make it a larger standard deviation. And if you notice that October had the largest amount of average sample catch of black sea bass, and I got a p-value of 0.8199, meaning it wasn't significant for my data. And my sample catch average by year, As you can see, 2012 having the largest standard deviation, meaning that some of the states have gone along and helped with the amount of average caught, like meaning with New Jersey, some of those black sea bass could have been caught in those years. But as you see, 2008 throughout 2011, you notice a decline in the amount of black sea bass caught. It's not until 2014 you see a rise again. And I got a p-value of 0.1880. Interpretation. The New England states have an increased amount of black sea bass compared to the other regions. I believe this because the black sea bass was being overfished in warmer areas such as Virginia and Maryland, that they made their way up through the coast to get away from being overfished. And month and year has no effect on sample catch of black sea bass, meaning no matter what time they had, it didn't show an effect on the amount of black sea bass caught, while location had a profound effect on the sample catch of the black sea bass.